Hello there friends and welcome. For today's Pathfinder guide we have everything about the best Drunken Master Monk build, a new archetype recently added by the Dance of Masks DLC. It's a blast to play and you'll have lots of very powerful abilities, including enormous bonuses to attack rolls, also armor class, and even damage, all from the very powerful, unique Drunken Master abilities. So you'll have a character that excels at everything, including tanking, even early in the game on unfair, with lots of attacks per round and great damage, as you punch and punch your enemies into submission despite being eternally drunk. And we'll be going with the Trickster Mythic path, because the Drunken Master Monk is the only monk in the game that can now be chaotic aligned. Plus of course we'll have the highest critical range possible with fists for once, and even amazing size bonuses to dexterity, your most important stat for everything, attack, damage, and AC. As a matter of fact, your character can be so tiny, you kinda have to strain your eyes to properly see them, with the size of an ant, but the punch of a dragon. So without further ado, let us get into our Drunken Master Trickster Monk build, first with the core mechanics of the class. The Drunken Master Monk is one of the most powerful archetypes in the game, as you are essentially a monk, but better. Starting from level 3 onwards, instead of a ki pool, you'll have Drunken Ki, which is essentially the same. You'll be spending points from this to power all of your most important abilities, with the very fun difference that the Drunken Master can actually consume booze to restore his ki point pool, as one bottle of alcohol will mean 2 points of Drunken Ki restored. And you can use this, well, so long as you have booze remaining. You can buy a lot of the alcoholic beverages from merchants, especially the innkeepers, and you'll also find a lot of them through normal exploration. For example, ale, wine, port, and so on. But they are classified as trash, so the other tab, which means chances are you already sold a lot of them if you are playing this character from the middle of the game onwards. But you can always check the other tab from merchants to buy them back, for more uses of course, of your Drunken Monk abilities. This does matter because the higher your Drunken Ki pool, the more bonuses you'll add to your Drunken Monk, especially through Drunken Combat. For every 2 points in the pool, you'll get a very nice +1 alchemical bonus to both attack rolls and even armor class. So great for both offenses and defenses. Alchemical of course is super rare, so we'll stack with everything else. The only downside is you'll take a -1 penalty to intelligence, but it doesn't matter at all. Oh, and by the way, you can also have as low as 2 intelligence. Let's check it out. Animal level intelligence acts mostly on instinct, but can be trained. Just like a dog, that's fine. That's our Drunken Master Monk. Besides the normal monk ki powers, which you still get, you'll have some extra unique abilities, such as Fire Water Breath, which can deal fire damage to enemies as a cone. Kinda subpar because the damage is very low, especially because of the saving throw, which won't ever be high as a monk. Or most importantly, Cadence Trick. Starting from level 6, you can breathe a cone that will inflict a lot of debilitating effects on the enemies if they fail the save. They'll take a -2 penalty to AC, become blinded, flat-footed, which also reduces AC, sickened for less attacks, and saves for 1d4 +1 rounds. And the ground will become slick, just like the Grease spell. It suffers from the same issue as Fire, Water Breath, the fact that DC will never be high enough. It's fun for sure, if it works, that's the problem, because as a standard action, you can't attack on the same round you activate this. Drunken Power is another amazing Drunken Master exclusive feature. As a swift action, starting from level 5, you can spend just 1 Drunken Ki point to increase the damage of all of your unarmed strikes by massive amounts. We are talking about plus 5d8 at level 18. It's like having extra arms. The duration is also great because it's equal to your Wisdom modifier in rounds instead of just 1. Besides that, you even have immunity to fear, so long as you are drunk, and a nice bonus to will saving throws against mind affecting and compulsion effects, the most dangerous forms of crowd control for enemies. You'll even have damage reduction, but very minor amounts only, so long as you have ki points remaining. culminating in your amazing capstone ability, Eternal Drunkenness. It provides a massive +6 alchemical bonus to all physical scores, and also increases the maximum amount of your Drunken Ki pool by 6. Now let's just do a quick section on how to play our Drunken Master Monk. First, you should always have Fighting Defensively turned on, as a lot of your abilities will be further empowered by this. Don't forget to always activate extra attack when needed. It's cast as a swift action, so you have an extra attack for that round. And of course, you can always consume boost to restore your key points. The same for Drunken Power for higher damage, which is a lot more efficient than the extra attack, because it lasts longer. Now this is important. Ideally, you want to turn Inspire Rage off, which means this character doesn't have that high synergy with SKALDs, because the Lesser Beast Totem's SKALD power will replace your monk's natural fist attacks with claws, and you don't want claws because you are built for fists. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have a SKALD on your party, because you know it's still gonna help the rest of your party members, including pets. Simply turn Inspire Rage off for your monk. Oh, and fun fact, you can actually combine the Trickster's unique Microscopic Proportions spell with something like Legendary Proportions. The order you cast the spells is what will depend based on what you want. If you want higher AC, start with Legendary Proportions, then cast Microscopic to reduce your size. For the size bonus, if you want higher damage on the other hand, reverse the order. Start with Microscopic,
You can trust me.
then cast Legendary. This way you'll have higher base damage by virtue of the size increase, but less AC. And now that we know how the Drunken Master works, let's get into our build at last. For race, for once I'll be doing something different and going with Halfling, not humans, although I still prefer humans by the way. But anyways, Halflings can have higher bonuses to AC by virtue of being smaller, and they even have a unique feat for that. So it is actually a great race for tanking. And with Drunken Monk, we also have enough bonuses for offenses and damage, so it's the best of both worlds. For your racial heritage, haste is by far the best. It increases your speed, although monks already excel at that, you'll be dashing through the battlefield, and provides a very welcome bonus to initiative. Which of course also means for background you still want the classic Street Urchin and Pickpocket. Now you already have a +4 bonus even at level 1. Initiative is especially important for tank characters, because if you're caught flat-footed, you'll lose a lot of nice bonuses to AC, and you don't want that, you want as high AC as always when tanking. For stats, Dexterity is of course our most important stat, as you'll be going with Trickster. Start with 20, for the maximum AC possible as early as level 1. The same for Initiative. Plus, as early as Chapter 1, you'll be adding Dexterity to both attack rolls and damage. Strength can be dumped to the minimum, it's just that I don't recommend it. Because, well, you'll only get Dexterity to damage at the end of Chapter 1 for the last big dungeon, so around level 5. If you dump your Strength early, you'll have awful damage. But you can go with it, assuming you understand the price. 10 on the other hand is good enough. Plus you won't get encumbered so easily. Then 14 Constitution for a nice amount of hit points, and you can actually dump Intelligence. The same for Charisma. Halflings do have a bonus to it, but it doesn't matter at all. As you start with 14 Wisdom. Wisdom is important for a monk, but you don't need to max it out during character creation, because you'll get enough bonuses from gear, buffs, and so on later. But of course, like I said, you can always dump Strength and start with 16 Wisdom if you prefer. Just understand your damage will be awful until around level 6. I prefer a more balanced approach. Then as far as skill points, Athletics is still a must-have regardless of the fact you won't have high Strength, because it has amazing synergy with Trickster, and that's how you get an extra attack just like the Legend Mythic path, also invulnerability to, well, enemy effects for crowd control, and so on. Besides that, mobility, it can increase your defenses slightly early, and well, is a dexterity skill. Sadly, we aren't a human, so we don't have the extra skill point, which would come in handy because you could then increase trickery or stealth, other nice dexterity based skills, or just leave them for another party member. For your level 1 feats, well, you do need weapon finesse, otherwise you'll never hit the enemy, because we min-max our dexterity instead of strength. However, if you don't care about missing early, you can already get the Halfling exclusive ratio feat, Cautious Fighter, which increases your AC by +2 whenever fighting defensively, which is always with this build, as we have a lot of bonuses to it. I'd rather delay it for level 3, however, which is still very early in the game. Then for your bonus feat as a monk, definitely Crane Style. For once I'll be picking it as this character is meant to be the best tank even early. And while it reduces the penalties for fighting defensively and even increases your AC by dodge amounts, great because it stacks with everything else. And as a monk you get it for free essentially. For deity, any that allows the Mythic path alignment you want. As Drunken Master we can actually pick Caden, who is the god of alcohol, the drunken hero, and very fitting for this character, then Chaotic Good. If you start with 8 intelligence, you'll get an extra skill point on some levels. Ideally, be sure to go for Use Magic Device, because it's gonna come in handy for our build later to cast some scrolls and proc some nice bonuses. You'll have yet another monk bonus feat at level 2, be sure to go with Dodge for even higher AC. You'll also get Evasion for free, which is extremely powerful, especially because we are min-maxing our dexterity, so you not only get to tank attacks through armor class, but also spells. For level 3, it's time to get the Halfling exclusive Cautious Fighter for an extra +2 dodge to AC, or pick it earlier at level 1 like I said. At level 4, increase dexterity the same for all the other levels. The first key power doesn't matter, and to be fair, that's the same for all the other key powers here, because honestly, as far as key points, you just wanna spend them into your actual unique Drunken Master abilities, like Drunken Power, or the default extra attack key power, because it's by far the best. So pick whatever you want. Bark Skin at least can help save us a lot from spellcaster allies early in the game. Then for level 5 it's time for Crane Wing for even higher AC, +4 dodge against melee attacks. We are definitely stacking lots and lots of dodge with this character. And for the Style Strike, we want even higher AC, so Defensive Spin, yet another +4 dodge after you hit the enemy. And you have improved initiative to always act first. For the level 6 bonus monk feat you have 2 options. Trip is my preferred pick. Just by having it you'll already increase the DC of all your trip attempts, including, from the level 9 monk style we'll be picking Leg Sweep, which adds trip for free to one of your attacks. It's just that because it's something you'll only get at level 9, you might as well grab improved initiative now. But we have enough dexterity and initiative bonuses that you can delay this for later. Combat Reflexes also works. I'll be going with Trip. Then anything, as your key power, might as well pick True Strike or Sudden Speed. For level 7, it is time for the classic Outflank at last, a must-have on any melee build, so you can both tank and be powerful offenses-wise. For the level 8 key power, either Wholeness of Body for healing or Restoration, which does something more difficult to find, so I prefer that. For your level 9 feat you also have a few options. Fury's Fall can be picked as it will increase your trip DC by adding your dexterity bonus, which of course is huge. And we'll be getting the Leg Sweep Style Strike now for free trip. Even something like Sculpting the River can work, which reduces the enemy's attack rolls whenever you attack them for even higher AC. But there's also Crane Riposte for free attacks if the enemy misses you, but it's only by 4 or less, which is somewhat annoying, because ideally you want them missing you by a lot. That's the point of stacking AC. So I don't think it's that necessary unless you have the space for it. Lastly, you can also grab Piranha's Strike for higher damage, which is the one I prefer because at this point you have enough AC and attack rolls, you might as well go for more damage. Followed by Leg Sweep of course for the free trip. Oh, and you'll also get improved evasion for free, which is absolutely amazing. For level 10, it's time for improved critical and unarmed strike. Punches don't have the best critical range, it's actually the lowest of them all, but we are going Trickster, so we can overcome that just fine. For another key power, Wholeness of Body for healing. Starting from level 11, it's time to get into the Trickster special critical feats. Of course, it's gonna depend on how fast you rush for Trickster Mythic 4. In my case, for this character, I only got it at level 12, so for now I have to pick something else. There's some other nice stuff you can pick like Pummeling Style, also Pummeling Bully and Pummeling Charge for trip enhancements, but we are kind of feat starved as a halfling, especially because 3 of our normal feats now have to be trickster stuff. So just saying, you can also pick these feats if you want, but I'll be going with Crane Repose now, if only because I almost never pick it on any other build. But like I said, it's not necessary, I already provided it with other options. Then for level 12, Abundant Step to access some secret areas during chapter 4, through the Dimension Door ability. Now before progressing from level 13 onwards, or even 11 plus, depending on how early you got Mythic rank 4, remember to level your character at Mythic 4 and get Perception 1 and 2 tricks as a trickster to qualify you for the special feats we'll be picking now, starting with Improved Critical Unarmed Strike, followed by Hammer Blow style, then Improved Initiative as we can get it for free, and Cold Ice Strike because at least it's cast as a swift action. But I'd much rather just spam, you know, Ki Power extra attack as always. For level 15, the second special Trickster critical feat, Improved Critical, for the highest critical range possible. With fists anyways. From level 16 onwards, you can grab any Ki Powers you want, so I'll just be skipping them. For level 17, the last Trickster special critical feat for higher critical damage. Then for level 18, as a free feat, Improved Blind Fight. For level 19, my preferred pick is another special Trickster feat, Meta Magic, Completely Normal Spell. This will let you double the amount of your ultimate Trickster spell, Trick Fate, as you have 100% critical on your fists on demand. And well, we are remaining a pure Drunken Master because your capstone is really that good, as I explained before. Now let us cover Mythic progression for our Drunken Master Monk. For your first Ascension ability, Close to the Abyss as usual, for the extra Gore attack. And you can add Dexterity to damage as well, through our amulet. For Mythic level 1, you might as well grab Last Stand in the spirit of being a very tanky character. When you have such high AC plus this, you are virtually unkillable, plus evasion as well. Then for Mythic level 2, you have a few options. You can already get Mythic Unarmed Strike, which increases your punching damage, but it takes a while before it gets really good, with more Mythic levels. I'd much rather grab Mythic Dodge now. It increases your AC by +1 always, and also provides a huge bonus equal to your Mythic rank against the first attack that targets you in a round. Not that good because you'll always be hit with multiple attacks, but it's nice to have anyways, and we have the space for it. For Mythic 3, as always, ever ready, a must-have on any melee character. Then the Trickster package is the same as always, Knowledge Arcana 1, and no, the Trickster himself doesn't have to be the one identifying the item for this to work, which is why we didn't get knowledge skills. Then at Mythic 4, it's time for Mythic Critical Unarmed Strike. After all, as a Trickster Monk, you are the only character that can achieve very high critical range even with fists. Followed by the classic Perception 1 and also Perception 2 rank to qualify you for the Trickster critical feat. So now, feel free to resume progression from level 11 or 13 onwards. For Mythic level 5, you have a few options. My preferred pick is Abundant Ki, because as I explained before, the higher your Ki pool, the better bonuses you'll get as a Drunken Master Monk. And this is one of the very few ways of increasing that, besides higher wisdom. You can also already get Master Shapeshifter, it's why we invested into Use Magic Device, but I prefer to save this for later. If you pick Master Shapeshifter, be sure to grab Infuse Magic Device now, otherwise, Athletics rank 1. And the other will be gained at the next level. For Mythic level 6, it's time for Mythic Unarmed Strike at last, because by this point the damage bonus is starting to get good. But you can also replace it for Mythic Piranha Strike if you prefer. Then Infuse Magic Device, followed by Athletics rank 2. For Mythic 7, it's time for Master Shapeshifter at last. Just use any of the polymorph scrolls you have, like Animal Aspect, even Frightful Aspect. It's why we got Infused Magic Device, to increase the caster level, thus higher duration, so you won't have to use that many scrolls, but you can always craft more through mercenaries or story party members like Nenio. Then go for Knowledge World 1, followed by the Ultimate Athletics 3 rank, which lets you increase your base attack bonus for higher attacks and also higher attack rolls, something only a legend can get beyond level 20. For Mythic level 8, Mythic Piranha Strike or Mythic Initiative, depending on what you prefer. The other one can be acquired at level 10, followed by Lore Religion 1, and the second, Knowledge World rank, for higher criticals and mercifully being spared of automatic failures whenever rolling a 1 for all party members. Mythic level 9 can be anything you want. Something fun is Archmage Armor. It's a bit overkill, but the Trickster themselves can cast Mage Armor innately through the Shadow Conjuration level 4 spell. But something like Unrelenting Assault for slightly higher damage also works. Followed by Lore Nature 1. And Lore Religion 2nd rank. This way we can grab powerful domain abilities. And as always you have a lot of options here. Animal for the pet, which is fun, but comes very late. I'd rather pick War Domain as usual. It provides you with an extra feat, the highly powerful Divine Power spell. Battle Rage is also decent enough. Honestly, just go with whatever you want. I'll be going with Law. I think it's hilarious to be a chaotic trickster monk, but still pick the Law Domain. And the Staff of Order ability is very good, for higher damage against demons on all punching strikes. As I said, War provides you with an extra feat, and you can pick anything you want now as well. And Mythic level 10 can be anything you want, ideally World 3. When you get this, you can respec party members, so that they'll have free feat access to any feat in the game. And ideally, Mythic improved Initiative now. Or another one of the Mythic feats I picked before, if you switch their order. Well, alright, now let us cover gear for our Drunken Master Monk. For the amulet, just like my recent Shapeshifter guide for the word touched, definitely Agile Fists. You have multiple variants of this, the earliest being +1, and the highest +4, I believe. You can buy the highest from the merchant at the DLC festival area during Chapter 5. Naniel's dungeon also has an enemy that drops this, I believe. Anyways, so long as you have weapon finesse, and you do, this lets you freely apply your dexterity modifier to your damage, which of course is amazing, so dexterity can account for everything. And this way you can bypass the annoying Mythic weapon finesse requirement. Armor is detrimental to your build, you don't want it because it will reduce your monk's AC. For robes, unfortunately you're kinda stuck with the Silky Veil, which is annoying to find because you can only loot it from Leper Smile before you defeat the boss there. It's only gonna be a +1 dodge to AC, so it's not like it matters that much. Because unfortunately, by virtue of being chaotic, you cannot equip the best monk robes like the Robe of Malice, as they all require you to be a different lawful alignment. You can also go for Wandering Conman for the bonuses to attacks of opportunity, and the classic Sin Mage robe when casting buffs. For belts, early belts of dexterity, ultimately Arodan's special belt of course for the huge bonuses to attack and damage. Now if you really wanted to min-max AC but I find it a bit overkill, you can go with the Lizard's Tail belt, which lets you get even higher than 140. For gloves, my preferred pick is the Claws of a Sacred Beast for the huge extra damage bonus against evil enemies, so anything that matters. It even increases your enhancement for unarmed attacks. I suppose very early you can also go with the Power Fist, the Gauntlet of Punching, but it's kinda painful to get because just like Silky Veil it's missable during Act 1. Not necessary however. For boots it's all about Ronic Sacrifice, as we do want the highest dexterity bonus possible. The same for armor class and attack rolls because of extra haste boosts. For helmet you have a lot of options, my preferred pick is the Helmet of Camaraderie, for the very nice bonus to AC as morale, a very rare type. For glasses and masks, either Broken Trickster or Rasmir's Mask, as you do need a source of extra wisdom for higher AC as a monk, which of course can also work as a helmet with the headbands early in the game. For cloaks, because the Trickster cloak is rather poor, just the Grand Festival cloak ultimately, or any Cloak of Resistance earlier. For rings, Triumphant Advance as always, you wanna double all morale bonuses, especially from the Helmet of Camaraderie and some spell buffs. The second ring slot is free, but I really like Guiding Star for the bonus to initiative and damage. For braces, early the Lucky Bracers, then Braces of Armor, ultimately Braces of Slaughter for the best of both worlds. Huge extra armor and amazing extra damage. Now let us cover weapons and quickslots for our Drunken Master Monk. For weapons, well, for once you can just rely on your fists, which can have very high damage and high critical range as well with a Trickster. But as always, the Sin Mage Staff just when casting some Trickster buffs. And for Quickslots, the classic package as usual, the Signet for any skill, ideally use Magic Device or Athletics, Jarsigax for higher damage, the Lucky Dice for minor bonuses, and the Meta Magic Rod package for your Trickster spells. Oh, and don't forget, you do have the unique Bottomless Mug, a new item that you can buy as early as Chapter 1 in the Tavern, and it will restore uses of your Drunken Ki points and even increase the damage of your unarmed attacks. Whenever Drunken Power is active, you can drink from it 5 times per day. Followed by Bismuth, the Dinosaur Companion if you want to have a pet. And don't forget Scrolls of any Polymorph spell to proc Master Shapeshifter like Animal Aspects or Frightful Aspect even. Well, alright friends, so this was it for our Drunken Master Trickster Monk build. If you found this guide useful as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and also consider becoming a channel member if you can. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends.